Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Evelyn here, or welcome if you're brand new to this channel. Today I want to talk about beginner's decks, because this time of year in 2015 I was looking through all the tarot channels that I knew, and I was desperately looking for decks that would be suitable for a beginner like I was, to start me off in learning the tarot. And there was a couple of good suggestions, and in the end I did pick my decks and got me started on my tarot journey. But I've got a couple of suggestions that might help you if you're brand new to all of this. Also, I just want to get that out of the way that by no means you have to follow my advice. These are just the decks that I think would be good if you are brand new to tarot. But of course you can start off with any deck that you like. Connecting with the artwork is one of the most important things when you're starting off, and or at least it was for me. And yeah, the decks that I started with weren't necessarily the decks that that were brilliant for that. And yeah, so hopefully I can help you with this. And yeah, let's have a look. Now, a lot of people will suggest getting the Rider Waite, or the Rider Waite Smith, as a lot of people are calling it nowadays. It comes in all kinds of different backgrounds, like the back of the decks are different. They're different editions. This is a set that I have. If you're looking into tarot, this will be the deck that you might be familiar with. Whenever there's tarot on telly, in TV series or anything like that, they often show this deck. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's not, this deck isn't in order. Sorry. I was going to show you the death card because that's what people on telly often show, like, ooh, the death card. But yeah, this is the deck that a lot of people will suggest you start off with. This was my first deck, but I couldn't connect to the artwork. However, this system, the Rider Waite system, is used throughout so many different decks that it is good to start off with a Rider Waite Smith, Rider Waite based deck, because you can get a lot of books, a lot of reference material that will use this system, so that would be handy. So if you don't like this particular deck, that's fine. There's also a tinned version where the artwork is slightly more bright, and I prefer this one, to be honest. Let's see here if I can quickly find Strength, Hermit, Justice, Death. That's the card you'll often see, or the Devil. But don't let that like scare you off or anything. All the cards have meanings that might not necessarily be what you first think. But yeah, so if you want to go with a Rider Waite, actual Rider Waite deck, then this might be a good one for you. And it comes in a handy little tin. It's not too expensive. So if you just want to try things out and think like, oh, you know, maybe I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be it for me. I just want to learn about tarot and see if it's something that I will be into, and this isn't going to break the bank. I'm going to take a sip of my winter tea. Now this is the next deck is the one that I actually started off with. It came in a kit. With this, it was the Easy Tarot kit, and I think it's a lot of, the tagline was something like learn to read the tarot once and for all, or something like that. And I'll show you the book first. I've got all these page markers because the book goes into the background of the tarot, how it works, and then it starts with all the different cards. You get like a page per card, or a page and a bit even, and it's really clear, I thought. So I really like this. I use this a lot to study with when I first started out. It's got some spreads in the back that you could use, and it's explained that quite well. So yeah, and then it's got like some more like things that you could use, like a little cheat sheet. This is the cheat sheet that I've got in my actual tarot journal, where I write down all my readings. I've scanned this in, and I've yeah, printed it off, and it's in my journal, so I can have a quick little reference should I need it. Yeah, and the cards, it's the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, or Marchetti, I'm never quite sure. I did the, oops. I coloured the sides, so it doesn't come black, it comes in just normal white. But what I liked about it was the fact that, you'll see that in a minute, the major arcana, which is the cards like the Fool card, the Magician, the Tower, the Strength card, which you might have heard of, the Wheel of Fortune, all those kind of cards. They've got a black number. Then we've got the suit of wands. They've got a red one, a red little gem or whatever it is. So you can see that they're all the same suit. And the swords are blue. So you can see that they're all part of the same suit. And it's easy to recognise, even though like it has on the bottom what it is, the Nine of Swords, the Page of Swords. But it's when you're doing a reading, it's handy to see right at the top, like, oh, we're dealing with the suit of swords here. And we've got the cups, which is a sort of goldy orangey colour. Two of cups, three of cups, 7. And again, like, you can read at the bottom that that's what it is, but it's handy to have that little top marker so you know that that is what you're dealing with. And then there's the Pentacles. I don't think I've done a walkthrough of this deck. If you'd like me to do one, I can do that. So yeah, this was this really helped me when I first started to learn the tarot, to have the suits divided quite clearly, and not just by the names at the bottom of the cards, but to actually have those markers at the top, so I could see which group they belonged to. So there's that one. Oh, let's put that away. And the next deck is another tinned one, and if you've seen my channel before, you will have seen me rave about the Morgan Greer Tarot. It really helped me because I couldn't get on very well with the Rider Waite imagery. This deck is very close to the Rider Waite images, but it has a quite a different feel to the artwork, and I could connect to it a lot easier, a lot quicker. So this deck has really helped me in my tarot journey, and I wish I had got to this deck sooner, because I think it would have helped me yeah, progress a lot quicker. But then, you know, you do you walk the path that you're walking, and you know, I don't regret any of the decks that I got in between. Yeah, had I got this deck sooner, it probably would have clicked for me a lot quicker. And these are, they call them rods. Other decks is called wands, but don't let that confuse you. Here we have the swords. See, so this is still sort of the same, the heart with the swords in it. Looks quite painful, doesn't it? So yeah, had I had this deck sooner, I probably would have, I don't know, it probably would have helped me a lot in my abilities to read. I always think of this one as Madonna, like a young Madonna. So yeah. So that's the Morgan Greer. There's also a non-tinned version of this deck, but I like the tinned ones because you don't have to worry about a tuck box that might like get, you know, I've used this deck so much, the box is getting a bit, you know, this is starting to rip a little bit, and you know. So I like that this is a tin, nothing's going to happen with it. You can throw it in your bag if you want. You can take it places and not worry about it. So that's really nice when it comes to these tins. There's other decks in this in a tinned version as well. I also have the Aquarian tarot, which is like a really white tarot, and the faces don't have as much expression as they do in this deck, which is why I chose the Morgan Greer and not the Aquarian. Yeah, I really enjoy working with this deck, so I recommend it. And then last but certainly not least, and if you've seen my channel before, you will have known that this was coming. It's the Everyday Witch Tarot. It comes in a box like this with a nice flap that closes. It has, the other ones don't have like a big book. This one has a decent sized book. It's got full colours of the pages. You can write some notes in it if you want. Yeah, it has like a little, this is the Temperance card, and it says, balance is impossible to achieve, but keep striving anyway. Temperance. Strive for balance in all things. So, and it has that for every card. So that's Three of Swords. Remember, that was that heart with the swords in it, and it says, "Oh my achy breaky heart." Yeah. So this is a very sort of like a more modern deck. Even though it's got witches on it, I don't think it's a very witchy deck. It's not like a pagan deck, and you can't use it if you're not a witch or you're not pagan. I I am power, hear me roar for the strength card. So yeah, and it has like things to consider if this is the card that you got. This is a very modern deck, and I'll show you some of the cards. I keep it in a little jewelry bag because this big box and the book I've put to the side, and I just use the cards as they are. So yeah, let's see. Hierophant. He's a yoga teacher. The Chariot is someone on a motorbike. The Devil, which is a card that talks about temptation and all that, is someone tempting you with money and food and just trying to get you to do what he wants you to do. So yeah, it's got a very modern feel to it, and say if this is difficult for you to relate to because it's not as modern and today. Let's see if I can find that. Maybe the Nine of Wands isn't such a good example, but here we go. Yeah, no. Let's see this one or this one. It's a bit more of a modern feel to it, even though it still has, if you look, like they're both looking the same way, and yeah, there's still that landscape in the back, see, and but it's a more today kind of feeling, so that might be easier for you to connect to as well. I have called the Everyday Witch a game changer for me when it comes to my readings. It is the first deck where I've been able to read the book once, because it's a really good book, I really enjoyed it, read the book, put it away and just go with what the cards tell you. There is so much in these cards that you can just tell the story of what the cards mean and what the artwork tells you. And yeah, that's really been a really important deck in my learning the tarot. And this was almost a year and a half, almost 2 years into my journey, like into me learning the tarot. Had this come sooner? Who knows? But it came to me when it did, and I'm very grateful. And I love this one, Nine of Pentacles. That's a good one to look at, I suppose. Let's see. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. There's this lady in a very nice dress, and she's got a bird, and she's got all of Pentacles and a nice garden, and you know, she's got it all. And then you've got this one. She's got it all, but in a different way. She's sitting there having a nice cup of like a drink of wine. She's got some snacks. She's enjoying herself with a book. She's got all the Pentacles. She's got a whole tree full of fruit. She's all right, but she's really enjoying herself. She's enjoying life. So yeah, far more modern way of looking at that particular card. So yeah, those are the decks that I wanted to show you, and that I would say are good for beginners. But like I said before, beginners can use any deck that they want. It's really up to you. What I recommend is to watch a lot of YouTube videos and see what you like, and have a look and compare some videos and see if there's anything that pops up for you and you go, oh yeah, I really like this artwork, this really speaks to me. Yeah, so these are my 4 decks. Yeah, and yeah, I sort of count this as a one deck, but like 2 versions of the same deck. But yeah, these are the decks that I recommend, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know, like I said, when I was looking for my very first deck, this is what I did. I went on YouTube and I would go through all sort of beginner deck videos and would compare them and and R over them, and then I decided, yep, I'm going with this one. And then I picked another deck for sort of like, this one was my study one, and then I picked another deck which is not on this in this group, and I picked another one for sort of fun, if you like. But yeah, you can have both. You can have fun and study with this one. Yeah, I know which way my yeah, my recommendation goes. Anyway, before I start rambling, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That would be brilliant. Leave me a comment if you want, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you again very, very soon. I've got something special planned for the month of December, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. Bye.